The Rising of the Shield Hero is not your average cookie-cutter isekai anime with those meh tropes you keep seeing each season. Shield Hero turned the typical everyone loves EMC feel upside down. They threw away the happy-go-lucky atmosphere in a heartbeat and made the viewers know that even if you're a legendary hero, things do not always go your way. Now Fumi Iwatani, the main character, after getting isekai'd out of his free will, becomes a pessimist as he sees what life in a fantasy world really is. Now that season 2 has been released and we finally got that revenge that we needed back in season 1, if you know you know, it's the perfect time to search for anime just like Shield Hero. While you wait for Now Fumi, Raftelia, Fido, the Three Stooges and more, QuoteTheAnime has your back. So call a grave robber because we're gonna dig back your edgy 14-year-old face with 21 plus anime like Rising of the Shield Hero. And at number 21 we have Akame ga Kill. Nothing screams edgy 14-year-olds like Akame ga Kill. If you thought Shield Hero was dark, then you might just get PTSD from Akame ga Kill. Similarity-wise, both shows have a messed up political system, and the MCs start from being naive and happy-go-lucky. Now Fumi had it way better than the MC of Akame ga Kill, Tatsumi. After he saw his friends' tortured bodies, he joins a rebel assassin group called Night Raid. Together they fight against the Empire. They use weapons known as Imperial Arms, which are relics so powerful that they can decide the fate of the nation. Oh, and watch out for the girl with the lollipop. At number 20 we have The Legend of the Legendary Heroes. You know it's a good show when it repeats the word legend in the title twice, but how is it similar to Shield Hero? Well, the MCs were treated like trash, but they both had really loyal partners. Just call me TrashCon cause I'm gonna be one legendary hero, baby. The Legend of the Legendary Heroes still feels weird saying that. Follows the story of Reiner. No, not the guy from Attack on Titan. Stop it, AOT fans. Reiner has a mysterious power called the Alpha Stigma, and along with his trusty ally Ferris, they set out on a journey to find the hero relics. They really have to be careful with the people around them because one mistake could cost them everything. And at number 19 we have Dog Days. Here we follow the story of Scooby-Doo and Courage the Cowardly Dog as they solve mysteries, fight crime, and eat Scooby snacks. I'm totally kidding. I'm just daydreaming about, you know, the crossover happening maybe someday. Dog Days actually follows the story of Izumi, who ends up getting summoned to a fantasy world full of people with animal ears. Of course, my dude is called the hero. Just look at him. And look at this guy. He was summoned by Princess Milier from the region of Biscari. He receives a sacred weapon and goes to war. But it isn't the kind of war you think it is. War in this world is like a charity stream. They play it like a sports game, and the one with the most money wins. Just like Shield Hero, it emphasizes the isekai theme and the summon hero trope. And at number 18, with probably one of the weirdest titles in all of anime, we have Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? Yes, it's very wrong, don't do it guys. Just like Shield Hero, the MC follows the hero to zero journey. Sorry, the zero to hero journey. Both fantasy worlds are also similar with demi-humans, elves, weird monsters, and demigods. We'll call it Dunmachi for short since that's the shorter title. Dunmachi's story is set in the world of Orario, where adventurers like our MC Belle dive deep into dungeons to look for treasures. One thing that makes our MC stand out is that he's not just looking for treasures, but he also wants to be the greatest adventurer in the land. Will Belle and his partner Hesia be able to rise to the top? And at number 17 we have Death March to Parallel World Rhapsody. So what does an anime with Rhapsody in its title have to do with Shield Hero? Well, Death March and Shield Hero have the same tropes like fighting monsters or calamities, raising slaves, cultivating land, and even the traveling. They literally have the same vibes. But Death March only managed to steal the 17th spot because it's kind of parody. The plot revolves around Satu. He was an overworked programmer who got transported to the game he was debugging in his previous life. Out of nowhere, a bunch of lizardmen charge at him and he uses a spell called Meteor Shower. Unlike Shield Hero, Satu didn't have a hard time. His skill wiped lizardmen out of the map and he just bumped up to level 310. He was truly a Sigma male from the get-go. And at number 16 we have How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. This show starts off with your typical isekai character who is a typical shut-in and is typically transported into another world where he's overpowered. The MC's name is Takuma Sakamoto, a gamer who owns the character, Diablo. And he basically has no social skills. But wait, doesn't that sound like your 5 out of 10 isekai? Well, instead of becoming a hero, Takuma became the Demon King. After being summoned by 2 girls, they accidentally make themselves his slave. And let's just say it was pretty awkward. Now, he helps them to break the seal and live like the Demon King is supposed to. The similarities it has with Shield Hero is that people basically don't like Diablo or Naofumi. Oh, And Diablo looks just like Naofumi, but with white hair, horns, and has a tattoo on his face, but you get my point. And at number 15, we have Konosuba. What can I say about this? Oh, only that it's the Giga Chad of Isekai? It basically doesn't have a plot, but it's better than your typical overpowered MC. And the characters are also written much better than your usual Isekai squad with one guy and a bunch of girls. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the GOAT, GOAT of Isekai comedy, Konosuba. We have Kazuma, the advocate of gender equality, Aqua, the goddess who's basically a water purifier, Megumin, the one-hit wonder, and Darkness, yeah, Darkness. Konosuba is a roller coaster ride of laughs and jokes that'll make you roll on your bed wheezing. It parodies all of your isekai tropes, but somewhat makes it better. I could talk about this anime the whole day, but what does it have in common with Shield Hero? Absolutely nothing. Just kidding, don't leave. Konosuba has the same world building elements as Shield Hero, albeit a little exaggerated. Kazuma and Naofumi also have more similarities than you thought, as they realistically view life. Check out Konosuba, you won't regret it. And at number 14, we have No Game, No Life. Talking about one-hit wonders, we have these guys. It's already been more than 5 years since the last season, so don't get your hopes up. You'll only hurt yourself in the end. One thing No Game No Life has in common with Shield Hero is that the MCs, even though they're treated like trash, as humans are considered the lowest life form in this other world, they still sacrificed their egos to save the world, or at the very least, the kingdom they're in. It's like Shield Hero, but less depressing. No Game No Life follows the siblings Sora and Shiro, who are two massive neats, but are legendary in gaming. They go by the nickname Blank and were sent to a game world after they won a weird game. Now, they help Stephanie, who wants to reclaim her kingdom, but that's too small of a goal for these two. So Sora and Shiro want to beat Tet, the god of this world, and become the rulers themselves. And at number 13, we have ReZero. What's another name you could call ReZero? Dying Simulator 101. Subaru, the MC, died so many times that it felt like the anime was a Dark Souls game. If No Game No Life was Shield Hero but less depressing, well, ReZero is Shield Hero if it was an emo kid. It depicts a lot of dark elements, and just like Shield Hero, doesn't shy away from the harsh realities of a fantasy world. Subaru, while in his tracksuit, gets transported to a fantasy world where he meets the beautiful white-haired elf named Amelia. He also meets Rem, who's probably the best girl of like the 8 out of 10 people watching this video. Together they help Amelia become the next queen of Lugnica. But Subaru doesn't have any power. He's just a normal guy who gets reincarnated back in time whenever he dies, and trust me, he dies a lot. It's because he's a normie. And at number 12, we have the Irregular and Magic High School. I know Shield Hero isn't set in high school, but hear me out. Just like Shield Hero, both MCs are being underestimated, even though it was obvious that they could kick almost everyone's butt. If you like OP MCs, then you're gonna love this one. The story starts in the year 2095, when magic is so normal that it even mixes in with technology. We follow the siblings Miyuki and Tatsuya Shiba, who start their first year at First Magic High School. Miyuki ends up becoming a flower, the first course, while Tatsuya is a weed, the second course. Follow Tatsuya on his journey as he uses unconventional and amazing magic, dubbing him the nickname the Irregular at Magic High School. And at number 11, we have Goblin Slayer. It's not your typical dark fantasy anime. Repeat, it's not your typical dark fantasy anime. Goblin Slayer is dark and full of things that really show you just how hard it would be to live in a world full of swords, magic, and monsters. It's a reality check, guys, and appreciation for what life on Earth is like right now for us. Just like Shield Hero, Goblin Slayer portrays camaraderie in the toughest times where different people from different races help each other in times of need. Goblin Slayer is, well, about slaying goblins. Our MC, who's literally named Goblin Slayer, has had some traumatic experiences with goblins in the past, and as he grew up, he only wanted to exterminate them from the face of the planet. He forms a guild with Priestess, High Elf Archer, Dwarf Shaman, and Lizard Priest. I know, right? Such creative names. Together they hunt goblins and take on the most dangerous of adventures. And at number 10, we have Sword Art Online. So who doesn't know about SAO? I mean, come on, everybody and their mom knows what SAO is. I mean, not every mom, but you get it. One big similarity SAO has with Shield Hero and other anime on this list is the MMORPG-like mechanics present in the world. They level up, get items, and have that interface thing that lets you see your stats. The anime opens in 2022. Yes, this year we will get SAO in real life. It's happening. We follow a gamer called Kirito, who enters the game called Sword Art Online, a VR MMORPG game, as a beta tester. Little did he know that the virtual game would become his new reality. To leave, they must beat Sword Art Online, but when they die there, they die in real life. Along with other players and of course Asuna, they try to survive and find a way back home. At number 9 we have Grimgar of Fantasy and Ash. If you really want to get that realistic isekai, then we have something just for you. Grimgar of Fantasy and Ash shows us how a group of kids who remember nothing but their name try to survive in a merciless world where mere goblins could take your life. Just like Shield Hero, it has a dark theme to it, but Grimgar of Fantasy and Ash does it better. Instincts, primal fears, courage, camaraderie, and a false sense of hope are depicted in the most human way possible. A ragtag group of teenagers fight for their lives in a world where strangers become friends and death is only a whisper away. At number 8 we have Overlord. It's a dark fantasy after dark fantasy, and now we have Overlord. If Grimgar was dead serious, then Overlord is Shield Hero but on steroids. Just like Shield Hero, the MCs are not as naive as other isekai MCs, and they actually realize that in an unfamiliar world, danger lurks in every corner. Overlord follows Momonga, who gets stuck in a game called Yggdrasil. The NPCs with him also felt that they were living beings and had their own personalities, now called Ainz Ul-Gun. He'll take over this new world and find the reason why he was isekai'd. Now this is an actual MC with a brain, which is rare. I mean, if I was overpowered, I'd probably take over the world too. Yeah, I would. I think I would. Personally, this is one of my personal favorite animes as well. Overlord. Just saying. Or any senpai's personal. I'm just throwing that out there. Personal recommendation. And at number 7 we have Log Horizon. I'm just gonna start off by saying please watch this underrated show. I'm begging you. If you're an isekai fan and you haven't watched Log Horizon, I revoke your title as a weeb. Log Horizon tells us about a mass isekai where 30,000 people were transported to the game of Eldertale. There's no OPMC, but instead there's politics, business, and a whole lot of world building involved. Now, Shiro, our MC, who's a genius strategist, must find a way to survive in this new world. Log Horizon has a good balance of action comedy, which is fairly on point with Shield Hero. There's also the pretty common MMORPG element, and the MCs use unique methods to fight. Other than that, Log Horizon is just a good isekai. Now watch it if you don't want to be maidenless. And at number 6 we have That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. So what's there to say about this isekai? Human gets stabbed, gets reincarnated in another world, and bada bing bada boom, he's OP. But if you don't have an IQ lower than a monkey, you know that he became a slime. Enough with the jokes, the slime isekai is actually amazing. After getting reincarnated, he meets a dragon named Veldora and was given the name Rimuru Tempest. The slime isekai, or Tenshura for short, doesn't just show Rimuru's growth, but throws in the viewer's face just how big of a world one can have when you write an isekai correctly. Much like Shield Hero, Tenshura makes world building a key element and makes the MC start from nothing. They travel the world, meet new people and species, and eventually become the person who everyone looks up to. And at number 5 we have Cautious Hero. The hero is overpowered but overly cautious. Yes, the MC literally looks like Naofumi if he reads Berserk twice in a row. Cautious Hero doesn't have the seriousness Shield Hero has, but it basically is the same. We have the girl who looks like Fido and Raphtalia combined, and a party of characters that pop up one by one just like how Naofumi built his party. The main premise of Cautious Hero is the MC rather than the world. Seiya is the definition of the phrase you can never be too careful. This dude will straight up nuke a level 1 slime if given the chance. He doesn't take chances. If that man loses 1 HP, the potion seller is gonna be rich because he'll take the entire stock. That's how cautious he is. It's pretty enjoyable. You'll like it. And at number 4 we have Beaufort. I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense. Similarities. Well, do you see that massive shield? The story of Beaufort follows the MC named Maple. Maple is playing a VR MMORPG game where she puts all her stats on vitality so she won't feel any pain when attacked. Turns out, she just became a mini tank. She doesn't only have OP defense, but can one-hit enemies in the blink of an eye. With both MCs having shield, Maple, just like Naofumi, also has special skills where they can use their shields to attack their enemies. It's like MOE Shield Hero with a dash of Slice of Life. Watch Beaufort and maybe you'll pick a tank in your next RPG game. And at number 3 we have Absolute Duo. Absolute Duo is basically the middle child. Shield Hero would be the eldest and Beaufort would be the youngest. It is a mix of both Shield Hero and Beaufort where it's not too dark, yet not too lighthearted. And of course the MC uses a shield. And he's also the odd one out because of the weapon. Absolute Duo story revolves around people called Blazers. They can create weapons using their soul, and our MC Toru just so happens to summon a shield. He attends Koryo Academy High School. While in a duel, he catches the eye of Julie Sigtuna. Will they be able to harness the power of the Absolute Duo? And at number 2 we have Ruka, Braves of the 6 Flowers. In this world, 6 heroes will be chosen. Adlet, the MC, has the nickname the strongest man in the world. And he was chosen as a brave. But things don't go as planned when all Braves met up to crush the demon god once and for all. 7 people showed up. There is an imposter among us. After an emergency meeting, they decided that Atlet was the imposter. Luckily, he managed to run away just like Shield Hero. Both MCs were framed and they became pessimists, cursing the world around them. Atlet now is on a journey to figure out who was the real traitor before it's too late. And at number 1, the king for the anime, just like Shield Hero, we have Harifuda, from commonplace to world's strongest. It may not have a shield, but who needs that when you have the firepower of the entire US Army? What does it have in common with Shield Hero? Oh, I don't know. An MC who has a weird skill, was betrayed, and came back stronger with his own party. The dark theme, the monsters, the fights, and now Fumi and Hajime's cruel smiles. Harifuda starts off with an entire class getting isekai'd. They all have useful skills, their own roles, and one of them is even a hero. But Lady Luck didn't smile on Hajime as he only got the transmutation skill. He was laughed at and looked down on by his classmates. While on a labyrinth, he tries to save everyone, but he was betrayed and fell into the abyss. Now, Hajime tries to survive and get revenge. He starts his journey from being commonplace to being the world's strongest. And that's it for the list today, guys. For anime like Shield Hero, we had Depressed Shield Hero on steroids, and Shield Hero if it was MOE. Each show had its own unique plot and concepts, but at the end of the day, we know in our hearts that the original will always be the Sigma. It's your boy Ernie Senpai. I'll meet you in the comments.